What no one has told you about opening your inner vision. There is a silent pain that runs through the lives of almost all people who seek something beyond the visible. It is the pain of searching for answers out there, in books, in masters, in techniques and promises, while the truth you most need has always been asleep inside your own body. Not asleep as something dead or inaccessible. Asleep as an ancient memory that no one taught you how to awaken. And what happens when you don't know how to awaken this inner vision? You compensate. You compensate by thinking too much. You compensate with anxiety disguised as spiritual urgency. You compensate with excessive control over the future, because the fear of not knowing what lies ahead becomes a silent monster that you feed every day without realizing it. The hidden desire behind this theme isn't just to see the invisible. It's to finally stop feeling like you are blind in a world that seems to know where it's going. It's to find a foundation, a certainty that doesn't depend on external circumstances. It's to feel that you have an internal radar working, even when everything outside seems chaotic. And the question that lingers is, why, even after trying so hard, do most people never truly access this inner vision? Bruce Lipton, cellular biologist and pioneer of epigenetics, brought an answer that changes everything. He demonstrated that your cells do not obey your conscious thoughts, they obey your subconscious programs. And what is in the subconscious? Old fears, inherited beliefs, repeated patterns since childhood. You may want to open your inner mind with all the force of your conscious will, but if deep down, very deep down, there is a program saying that seeing the truth is dangerous, that you are not capable, or that clarity will bring responsibilities that are too heavy, your own body will sabotage any attempt at silence, and you won't even know you're sabotaging yourself. You'll think the fault is with the technique, the moment, the noise outside. Joe Dispenza complements this vision with an equally powerful discovery. The human brain does not distinguish between a real experience and a well-imagined one. The same neural areas activate, the same hormones are released. This means your inner vision is already working all the time. The problem isn't that you can't see. The problem is that you are looking in the wrong place, with the wrong tool, guided by the wrong programs. And what if the key to opening the eyes of the mind wasn't more effort, but 1 minute of true silence, 1 minute of breaking the pattern, 1 minute of presence without trying to control anything? That minute might be more powerful than years of superficial meditation, and that's exactly what you're going to learn now. The minute that can achieve more than years of superficial meditation. The invisible mistake of those who force their intuition is believing that seeing requires tension. Beware of the trap of excessive effort. The more you squeeze the eyes of the mind, the less you see. It's like trying to observe the bottom of a lake, while you yourself stir the water with your desperate movements. Inner vision does not respond to command, it responds to permission. And most people have never truly experienced giving permission, because they are too busy trying to control the outcome. What does vibrational frequency have to do with this? Bruce Lipton demonstrated that the environment perceived by cells alters gene expression in seconds. 1 minute of emotional coherence can reprogram more than hours of mechanical mental repetition. You don't need to repeat affirmations for 30 days. You need to stop for 60 seconds and let your body feel safety. When the body feels safety, the mind lowers its defenses. When the defenses lower, inner vision emerges naturally. The counterintuitive revelation is this: you don't need to learn to see, you need to interrupt what blocks the vision. The secret is not to light a new lamp inside you, it is to erase the old images that you insist on projecting onto the screen of your perception. Have you ever seen a room full of overlapping colored lights? You can't see the original color of anything. Your beliefs, your fears, your expectations are these lights. The minute of silence is the button that turns them all off for an instant, and in that instant, the real color appears. How does dopamine sabotage your spiritual opening without you realizing it? Dopamine is the neurotransmitter of reward and anticipation. When you feel urgency to control the future, when you want answers now, when you mentally review whether you are already seeing something, whether it has already worked, whether it has already happened, you are flooding your brain with anxiety-driven dopamine, and this chemical flow keeps your mind stuck on the surface. You can't dive deep because you're always floating on the surface of expectation. The true minute of silence is a minute without anticipation dopamine. It's a minute of simply being. Metaphor of the puddle of water. Imagine a puddle of perfectly still, crystal clear water reflecting the sky. You can see every stone at the bottom, every detail. Now throw a stone into the center. The waves form, the surface distorts, the reflection shatters into 1,000 pieces. Your unresolved emotions, your silent anxiety, your need for control, are the stone. Most people try to see the bottom while still throwing stones. What if you just waited 1 minute? Let the surface rest for 60 seconds. Then, and only then, you will see what has always been there, motionless, waiting. Inner vision was never absent, it was just waiting for you to stop stirring. The electromagnetic field of the heart, and the key to inner vision. The energetic flaw that no one notices might be at the center of all your blocks. Your heart generates an electromagnetic field 60 times larger than the field generated by your brain. 60 times. This field extends several meters around you, and interacts with other people's fields, with the environment, with everything. When you are in emotional disharmony, when there is fear, anger, frustration, or poorly processed anxiety, this field becomes chaotic. And guess what happens? Your entire perception is distorted. You are not seeing reality. You are seeing your own disharmony reflected in everything. The person who seems cold, the opportunity that seems closed, the future that seems dark. It could just be the echo of your own unregulated field. Bruce Lipton's silent experiment with cells is one of the most revealing in modern science. He showed that cells isolated in a safe, welcoming environment without threats flourish. They reproduce, communicate, heal faster. Cells placed in a stressful environment with toxins or danger signals become sick. They wilt, stop communicating, go into defense. Now apply this to your inner life. What kind of environment do you keep your consciousness in? Do you cultivate an environment of safety, where it's allowed not to know, where it's allowed to make mistakes, where it's allowed to just be? Or is your internal environment a silent battlefield, full of demands, imaginary deadlines, comparisons, and fear of failure? Your inner vision will never fully open on a battlefield. It opens in a silent garden. Why do most people fail when trying to silence the mind? Because they try to stop thoughts like someone trying to stop a river with their hands. It's impossible, it's frustrating, and it only generates more tension. In 1 minute, completely change the strategy. Don't stop the river, get to the bank. Sit on the grass of the bank and watch the current pass without jumping in. You don't need to eliminate thoughts. You need to stop identifying with them. The thought comes, you notice. The thought goes, you don't hold on. Another thought comes, you just observe. After 60 seconds of observation without judgment, something changes. You realize that you are not the thought that passes, you are the one who perceives the thought. This recognition shifts your identity from the noise to the silent witness, and the silent witness always sees. 60-second radical presence technique. Sit somewhere where no one will interrupt you. Place your hand on your chest, over your heart. Breathe once, very slowly, drawing air in through your nose and releasing it through your mouth like a sigh. Now just perceive. Perceive the temperature of your skin. Perceive the weight of your body in the chair. Perceive the surrounding sounds without naming them. A car far away, the wind, the silence between the sounds. Now perceive the thoughts that try to pull you out of this moment. Don't fight them, just notice that they are there, like passing clouds, and you remain here, on the bank. 60 seconds, that's all, 1 minute. This minute, repeated daily, reconnects your neural circuit of presence. And when presence strengthens, inner vision doesn't need to be sought, it simply happens. An analogy of the sky and clouds. Your inner mind works exactly like the sky. The sky doesn't need to be created, doesn't need to be fabricated, doesn't need to be sought. It is already there, whole, infinite, always present. What hides the sky? The clouds. Your clouds are your thoughts, your passing emotions, your worries, your anxieties. And what do you do when you want to see the sky? You don't fight the clouds. You don't try to push them away by force. You simply wait. You watch the clouds pass. And while you watch without clinging to any of them, the sky reveals itself. In 1 minute, you can simply let the clouds pass, without forcing, without rushing. The sky was always visible. You were just looking at the clouds. The false prophets of your own mind. The trap of performative spirituality is perhaps the most sophisticated block and the hardest to recognize. You meditate to feel spiritual, not to empty yourself. You repeat affirmations to feel in control, not to surrender. You seek inner visions to validate that you are on the right path, not to truly transform. And the ego has realized it can disguise itself as enlightenment. The ego pretends to be seeking God when it is actually seeking invisible applause. The ego pretends to be surrendering when it is actually collecting spiritual experiences like trophies. Beware, the most dangerous spiritual quest is not the one that comes from outside. It is the one that feeds your pride disguised as humility. The fear of what you might see is one of the great secrets no one talks about. In a minute of true silence, without distractions, without a phone, without music, without an automatically repeated mantra, many people simply flee. They scratch their arm, remember something they need to do, feel unexplained agitation. Why does this happen? Because the inner mind doesn't just show beautiful lights and celestial visions. It shows your shadows. It shows your deepest regrets, the ones you swept under the rug of consciousness 20 years ago. It shows your silent shames, the moments you betrayed yourself, the times you pretended not to see something that was clearly there. Most people don't want to open their inner eyes. They want quick relief from anxiety. They want confirmation that everything is okay. They don't want to face what is truly hurting. And as long as that fear is not acknowledged, the vision will remain blurry due to self-protection. Bruce Lipton and the biology of belief give us the key to understanding this. Your deepest beliefs are not abstract philosophies. They are biological programs recorded in your subconscious, many of them before the age of 7, many of them absorbed without any critical filter. If you believe deep down in the depths of your soul that you don't deserve clarity, that knowing the truth will hurt too much, or that opening your inner vision will bring a heavy responsibility that you are not ready for, your entire body will sabotage any attempt at silence. You will feel sleepy during the silence. You will feel a pain in your neck. You will remember something urgent. It's not a coincidence. It's biology obeying a belief. And the good news is that beliefs can be reprogrammed. But first, you need to recognize that they exist. The fatal mistake of those who treat intuition as a muscle to be forced is believing that more effort produces more results. Intuition does not respond to effort. It responds to surrender. It's like trying to grasp water with open hands. The tighter you squeeze your fingers, the more water escapes between them. Intuition arrives when you stop trying to grasp. It arrives when you open your hands and just receive. The minute of opening the inner mind is not a minute of conquest. It is a minute of surrender. It is a minute where you say, I don't know. I don't need to know right now. I am just here to allow. This attitude of surrender activates a part of the brain that effort never reaches. Metaphor of the fogged mirror. You get out of a hot shower, the bathroom mirror is all fogged up. You can barely see the outline of your face. What do most people do? They wipe their hand over it with force, clear a small patch of the mirror, and immediately want to see their whole face reflected in that small circle. And they get frustrated because they can't. If you just wait a few moments, if you let the bathroom air out, if you don't keep rubbing the mirror with anxiety, the fog will disappear on its own, and the full reflection returns. The fog is your anxiety. It's your rush. It's your need to see now. Let it cool down. Give it a minute. 1 minute of presence without demand does more than an hour of frantic searching. The subtle signs of awakened inner vision. The first sign that your inner mind is opening is not a psychedelic vision. It's not a floating angel or a golden light coming out of your forehead. The first sign is much more discreet and much more transformative. It is a deeper, internal silence. You notice there are fewer comments in your head, fewer judgments about what you are seeing, less need to interpret everything immediately, to label it as good or bad, to fit it into some mental category. The mind hasn't stopped working. It has just learned not to get in the way. It has learned to observe without interrupting. And in this new silence, things that used to go unnoticed start to stand out. The second sign, you start to trust impressions without immediate proof. A feeling in your chest that says yes or no. A shiver down your spine when you think about something. A strange certainty that doesn't come from logic, doesn't come from any concrete data, but settles in as a calm truth. At first you doubt. You think it's imagination. You think it's wishful thinking. But over time you experiment. You follow this silent impression. And something small but significant happens. And you start to trust a little more. Until one day you realize you don't need to justify this trust to anyone. not even to yourself. Inner vision doesn't need proof, it is the proof. The third sign, synchronicity ceases to be rare and becomes almost every day. You think of someone and they call, you feel something will go wrong and change your route just in time. You have a strange dream and the next day it reveals itself as a warning or guidance. What changed? The universe didn't change. Synchronicity has always existed, weaving invisible patterns around everyone. What changed is you. Your internal radar has been calibrated. Your frequency is now more aligned with the frequency of these patterns. What used to seem like chance now reveals itself as language, and you begin to realize that the world is speaking to you all the time. You just weren't listening. What Neville Goddard taught about the creative imagination gives us the final key. Inner vision is not seeing what is distant in space, nor is it seeing the future as an inexorable prediction. Inner vision is seeing what does not yet exist as if it were already real. It is holding an image, a feeling, a certainty, without the external world having yet shown any evidence. And here's the secret that few understand. When you hold this image for 60 complete seconds without doubt, without anxiety, without hurry, something changes in the quantum field, not because you forced the universe with your will, but because you aligned your frequency with the frequency of what you wish to see manifest. And alignment is the true mechanism of creation. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. And when your inner vision aligns with the frequency of the real reveals itself. Metaphor of slow motion. When you film a waterfall at normal speed, what do you see? A white blur, a continuous movement, a liquid mass without details. But when you film the same waterfall in slow motion, high speed, suddenly you see each individual drop. You see the sparkle of each one in the sun. You see the unique trajectory of each drop before it joins the whole. Your minute of silence is the high speed of consciousness. It slows down the frantic movement of your mind and reveals details that the agitation hid. You don't need a new skill, you need a new speed of perception. And that speed is achieved by stopping, not running, by waiting, not seeking, by allowing, not forcing. The minute that resets your perceptual life, the truth that liberates, the truth that can leave you both relieved and challenged, is this. You never needed a secret technique bought from an expensive course. You never needed an external master with ready-made answers. You never needed years of preparation, or a purity you haven't yet achieved. What your inner mind was asking for, what your dormant vision was silently begging for, was just a safe space to reveal itself. Just 1 minute where you demanded nothing, charged nothing, evaluated nothing. Just 1 minute of permission. That's all, and at the same time, it is everything. Bruce Lipton leaves us with a conclusion that echoes in every cell of your body. Epigenetics, the science he helped found, showed something revolutionary. The internal environment you cultivate activates or deactivates your genes. An environment of fear activates defense genes, inflammation, stress. An environment of safety and coherence activates repair, growth, and expansion genes. In 1 minute of emotional coherence, you literally turn off the genes of defensive blindness and turn on the genes of expanded vision. It is not a metaphor. It is biology. Your body is waiting for you to choose a minute of peace. A minute where you stop fighting the current and just float. In that minute, reprogramming begins. And once started, it spreads like fire in dry grass. Joe Vitale complements this with a question that cannot be ignored. He asks with the simplicity of someone who knows the human mind, what do you choose to feed? Because you are always feeding something. Always. Either you feed the fear that paralyzes with its repetitive thoughts, its images of failure, its prophecies that it won't work out. Or you feed the trust that opens with a minute of silence, with a deeper breath, with the decision not to interrupt what is emerging. The choice is not forever. The choice is not definitive. The choice is for the next minute, and then for the next, and then for the next. 1 minute at a time. You don't need to be perfect from now on. You need to give 1 minute, and then another minute. Perceptual life is rebuilt, 1 minute at a time. The final invitation is not for tomorrow. It's not for when you are on vacation, or when you find a quiet little corner at home, or when you buy the right meditation cushion. The invitation is for now. When you finish this video, before you get up from where you are, before you pick up your phone, before you return to your to-do list, give yourself 60 seconds. Just breathe. Place your hand on your chest if you want. Close your eyes if you feel safe. and do nothing. Don't repeat a mantra. Don't try to empty your mind. Don't expect any special vision. Just allow. Allow our body to rest from the tension of trying. Allow your breath to calm down on its own. Allow thoughts to come and go without you holding on to any. Just allow. Your inner mind knows the way. It always has. You just need to remember that you don't need to push. You just need to stop getting in the way. And this stopping, in 1 minute, can achieve more than years of frantic searching. Because the truth is not far from you. It never was. The truth is obscured by noise, by hurry, by anxiety, by the protective layers you built without realizing it. And 1 minute of true silence is enough for the light to return. Not all the light at once, but the first ray. And with the first ray, you remember the sun never went out. It was just waiting for you to stop looking down. Raise the eyes of your mind. The sky is clear, and you can see. In 1 minute, just 1 minute,